Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Devon McDonald.
So as we move on to the amateur title fight of 125, we have Devon McDonald and Tori Land.
Yes, for the DFC amateur flyweight title. Quick note here, Devon McDonald will be the only one eligible to win the belt in this fight. Even if Tori Land wins, as you can see on your graphic here, the limit for a amateur flyweight title fight is 125 pounds, nothing more. Tori Land had a tough weight cut, did not make the weight limit. So Devon McDonald still accepted the fight, but she will be the only one eligible to win the belt here.
Now, Devon McDonald is 7-1 from Graham MMA. We've already seen Graham MMA fighters, but fighting out of Petal, Mississippi. But am I reading this right? 7-1 with a debut in when? March of 23?
Yeah, so all of her fights have been within the last year and a half roughly. So yeah, 8 fights. The one loss was by split decision. Most of her wins are by finish. So she's definitely a technically proficient kind of prospect, potential future superstar. I don't even know how much longer she plans on fighting amateur. I would imagine, with a record like 7-1, fighting for belts, you're probably looking to turn pro pretty soon. But we're thankful to have her here for DFC 8 tonight.
Absolutely. So expect a great technical bout here. 7-1 for Devon McDonald. Tori Land 4-1.
Yeah, so not quite as much experience in the cage, but she's been training a long time. And I mean, these girls, combined record of 11-2. That's so good. But top-notch title fight here for DFC,
especially for the 125 weight class. Now I know we have a little bit of a mix of style because we might have a little bit of a striker versus grappler in some ways here.
Yeah, McDonald, she has spent most of her fight time on the feet, but she's shown good stuff on the ground when she gets there.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Tori Land.
And Tori Land, getting a big round of applause, has fought here at DFC before. Definitely known more as a striker, but when I was talking to her leading up to this, she said she wants to implement some grappling to help secure this victory tonight.
That's right. Tori Land, usually known as a boxer, all 4 wins, I believe, from the TKO.
Yeah, she has incredible hands. You'll see when we get out there. She really puts together great boxing combinations, good footwork, good head movement. Some of the best amateur boxing I've seen from anyone. I do wonder, we mentioned she missed weight by 4 pounds, had a tough weight cut. Hopefully that doesn't affect her too negatively in her performance tonight. Hopefully her recovery and rehydration, went well, and we get a good scrap that we deserve between these 2 talented ladies.
Absolutely, both of them so talented. You hope to see their best tonight. So for Tori Land, the shorter fighter in this case, but being the boxer, that might work out to her advantage if she can get inside the box, because McDonald's known to be more of a kicker.
Yeah. So in my opinion, watching McDonald's film, she has kind of 2 different modes when she's on stand-up. One is where she's kind of standing kind of flat at range, and she just kind of spams kicks. And the other one, whenever she crouches down and starts moving forward, she's heavy with just 1s and 2s back and forth. So in my opinion, Tori Land wants to keep her in kicking mode and then jam her up off the kicks and land those strikes as she goes to throw kicks.
So countering off of the kicks into a forward pressure.
Yeah, and I do think she has certain ways that she can put her into kicking mode, and I think that's where Tori wants to keep this fight.
Now for Devon McDonald,
here we are, amateur championship title bout, 125-pound division on the line. She's got over 5 3-minute rounds. Introducing first, competing, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 125 pounds. She enters tonight's matchup with 7 victories in 8 amateur bouts. Near perfect, baby, from Petal, Mississippi, and Graham MMA. Give it up for Devon McDonald. Adversary, ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 129 pounds. She enters tonight's matchup with 4 victories and 5 amateur bouts, with all 4 wins by knockout. She hails from West Monroe, Louisiana, and Core Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Give it up for Tori Land.
The crowd going wild for
the action and instruction, Mr. Basil Majou.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this plays out. especially with
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on.
especially with Tori known to be a boxer, but her mentioning that she wants to implement her grappling, and also the intricacies of the weight cut and how that could affect her.
Absolutely. Tori already pressing forward, got Devon against the cage. Miss McDonald's head low, trying to be the lower chin fighter so she could push off the wall.
Devon McDonald doing a good job slipping into the back here.
Trying to get a leg trip, and now has Tori against the cage. Hook in, trying to take the back or get the takedown. You can kind of do both.
Yeah, Tori trying to fight the hands here, trying to turn back into her opponent. That leg being hooked is a bit of a problem, but she does a good job getting it out of there. Now needs to fight the hands.
Now to the other side. McDonald doing a good job keeping the head low, keeping...
Yeah, if Tori can get her hips forward and her back into her opponent's chest, it'll put more tension on the hands, be able to break them. She can wrestle back up from here. Does a good job turning back in. Still has the body lock, though, does Devon McDonald. So still good potential for takedowns as she gets it. Tori immediately looking to get to guard and set up offense from here.
Absolutely. McDonald doing a good job with basically extending the leg trip. Now we're to a half butterfly position.
Yeah,
Down to the
unfortunately.
scissor leg position, but again, against the cage, as we've seen tonight, when you're the bottom and against the cage, it is a difficult position. But Land finding a way out, now has to watch her neck as McDonald wraps it up.
Very, very smart technical decision to abandon the guard and go for the wrestle up there. She doesn't quite get it successfully, but she's still on it here. As McDonald is getting on the neck, Tori doing a good job fighting the hands, doing what she's supposed to do. She needs to get that left underhook, like back in between her and her opponent, be able to face her opponent here. McDonald really using her length to reach over Tori, the shorter fighter, and get around the neck and really threaten that choke. Being the longer fighter, she can really reach up there and get it.
Tori trying to find a way through. McDonald continuously to search for the neck as well as the leg trip. Has seemingly rode her opponent for most of this round now. Didn't think we'd quite see a cage match like this, literally pressed up against the wall and already a takedown.
Yeah, for all the stand-up that Devon McDonald has in her fights, and Tori as well, Devon is very good at utilizing the clinch, and whenever she gets in these spots, she's shown great success from here. So one thing that I was thinking, leading up into this is like when Tori uses that boxing range, is keep it still at boxing range and don't go all the way into the clinch, because Devon McDonald is very successful from here, finds a lot of good success from these spots.
But that is a matter of inches in these kind of fights.
Yeah, it's a very intricate spot between getting in close enough to be in boxing range, inside of kicking range, but not in clinching range.
Devon McDonald putting in a ton of work. We'll see at the end of this round which opponent is more wore out, the defender or the attacker in this case. McDonald looking for another takedown as we...
Yeah, for what it's worth, Tori being on the back foot for most of this round, she's done a good job defending and is still in this fight, coming up, throwing some big punches. Shown great success defensively, and when she's had opportunities to, good offense. Yeah, I do think I'm not saying Tori can't win those grappling exchanges, but I think Devon McDonald is good enough there that you don't necessarily want to invite them and look for them. I do think Tori looked a little cleaner for the little bit they were standing up and throwing punches. She had McDonald reacting heavily before she did clinch. McDonald, I think, was overreacting a bit to the punches, and I think playing off that could be a very good win condition for Tori Land.
So if you're Devon McDonald, what changes do you make, or do you continue with that same game plan?
I think, based on what we saw, invite the clinch. If Tori wants to go in and go for that, maybe if you can get your own clinch, for sure. Like the first round, they're both trying to feel each other out a little bit, and Tori, I think, rushed in a little more than she should have. Of course, she mentioned she wanted to take her down, but maybe reconsider that after that first round.
So we'll see what adjustment Miss Land makes. See if there's any distance management, working a little bit more off the jab now, putting her opponent against the wall.
Yeah.
I think maybe one of the key differences there.
Yeah, but Tori again just kind of overcommitting a little too much, and it's as we mentioned, a very fine line, intricate spot of being close enough to hit them, but avoiding that clinch from Devon McDonald. Even though McDonald's back against cage now, she's shown great success from these spots earlier, and is kind of halfway getting to the back here again. Going to probably look for that trip again.
Yeah, she definitely seems to have that in her repertoire. Land now against the cage, trying to work punches, trying to get her opponent to back up. McDonald showing, though, head low, forward pressing.
Tori doing a little better job now of digging that underhook. She kind of let go of it at this point, but she really needs to use that underhook to get her opponent away some more. Now, this is the spot where Tori can really find some more success, I believe. Really, again,
Tori with a hard jab.
Yeah, as McDonald, as you see her charging up one of those kicks, stepping in, and that's exactly what I thought she should be doing to try to win this, is, timing those kicks, stepping in, closing that distance, and landing big shots.
Right.
And I think from here, separate, push off.
And do it again.
Yeah, once McDonald gets his clinch, it's not over for Tori, but she's like, she can't land her offense from here.
And it's a reset, yeah. Absolutely. McDonald wanting to reset to the clinch. Tori needing to land the big punch on her way in and then reset once we touch the cage.
Tori, as we saw a minute ago, she was in the spot and managed to get out of it.
Trying to find a takedown.
Yeah, Tori's finding better success in these clinch situations, landing some good punches off the break, and looking to drown her opponent. Like Devon McDonald, looking more labor here, not getting a second to breathe.
McDonald getting to the back though on the slip down.
Yeah.
Tries to find the sit down. And hands on
Tori
McDonald.
Doing a better job fighting the hands. She's doing, better as the fight progresses through here, but still getting, a bit jammed up in these spots.
1 minute left in the second round. McDonald showing a clear progression of technique.
Yeah, Tori has the hands separated now, can kind of inch her hips out away from McDonald and probably get out of the spot.
And as you speak it.
Yeah, it's so important you separate the hands, give yourself, space to go through and away. And now she gets on a takedown of her own. Looks like she should be able to finish this.
Very close to the cage, barely scraping. Yeah. And there's the leg trip to the change. 30 seconds left in the round. Land looking to solidify the second round in her bag.
Yeah, McDonald, briefly scooping the leg, briefly looking for an armbar. I think she's trying to play out, avoid punches and find some offense for herself here. Tori doing a good job staying heavy on top, but unable to really land offense. She's her posture's too broken here. And this is the spot where
Standing up, a few seconds left. McDonald going for the up kicks. Land trying to find a way in to land any sort of offense on the top.
Much better round for Tori Land there. A lot of back and forth, but I think overall maybe Tori had some more success overall in that round.
I would say she definitely found a way to control the pace as well as a little more intelligence in the distance management. Seemed to find some holes and landed a takedown of her own.
Yeah, and I believe she landed, for the short duration that they were separated on the feet, I think she landed a few clean shots there before those clinches happened a couple different times.
Absolutely. Showing a little more forward aggression, definitely seeming to find the ways to make the in clinch more to her end goal, but still has to be very careful. McDonald seems to find a way to slip to the back if Land opens up a little too much.
Yeah, Tori definitely needs to be a little more careful with her footwork still. She's doing a much better job in the second round, a little more careful still, and also getting her punches back to her body when she throws, being able to recognize when McDonald's looking for that slip, being able to get your elbows back in between you and your opponent, and be able to kind of wrestle in and keep her chest to chest, and not to where she gets the over-under, not to where she gets on the hips.
So for the adjustments on this one, definitely for McDonald finding a way to win the grappling exchanges.
Yeah, she definitely had a lot less success there, and for the little time they're separated on the feet, Tori is definitely landing cleaner, which we've seen in pretty much all of her previous fights.
I think Land has shown the power, and I think one of the things about Land's opponents is once they feel her power, they begin to recognize it and the need to back away from it.
Yeah, she's definitely gotten a lot of girls' respect in there, hitting them in the head. Tori, again, still just a little overcommitted with the forward pressure.
Yeah, again, McDonald finding a way to slip to her back, finding a way to get the hook, definitely finding ways to get in dominant grappling positions. Land doing, though, an excellent job finding a way to slip back through.
Yeah, she's improving as the fight goes on, getting better and better at breaking that body lock and getting out. And as you've seen, Devon McDonald in the first round was able to get a takedown, second round was able to control her a decent amount. That time had her for maybe 10 seconds before she got out of that lock.
Again, McDonald showing the need to go to the grapple, not wanting to experience too many exchanging.
Yeah, just
Land again searching for the takedown.
Reminder, this is a 5-round fight, so there's a lot of time to go. But I will say, just momentum-wise, Tori definitely
finding the trip again.
Yeah, definitely taking over the momentum. Finding success on the feet, finding more success on the grappling. Getting the takedowns, defending her opponent's takedowns.
With a minute 42, McDonald with a high leg. You got to be careful there.
Yeah, Tori definitely needs to keep those elbows inside. Don't.
McDonald trying to find the up kicks, trying to keep her opponent away. if you're the opponent on top, Land letting her back up.
Yeah, this is where Tori wants it. She definitely seems to not feel completely comfortable passing the long-legged guard of Devon McDonald. Devon McDonald getting a little sloppy here, kind of leading with her head some. I think if Tori really would just take a step back right there, because she's leading with her head to go for the clinch, she would just take a step back, she could be able to extend on her punches and really catch Devon McDonald well off of that.
Maybe the old Philly check.
Yeah. I think just taking half a step back and letting go of some punches.
Again, impressive how McDonald finds the back clinch.
Yeah. But Tori again doing a great job. She's just momentarily controlled. That's what we've seen. The last 7 times they've been there. Just momentary control, and then Tori is able to take over from there.
Tori leaning heavy into her opponent. McDonald with the overhook there, really trying to lean on it so her opponent can't hit.
Yeah,
but Tori breaking away and landing punches and bunches.
Yeah, and not giving her opponent space to breathe at all.
McDonald again clinching up so as not to take damage. This time just a bear hug.
Yeah, and it's essentially been purely defensive for the last 2 rounds. She hasn't found any success off of it. Does get attempt to take down here. Tori's still halfway on top, and I think this is position. Yeah, she's going to get top side control.
Yeah, so can't really call that one a takedown as you land in a passive position.
Big ground and pound from Tori here.
And the round ends with Tori on top, raining down hammer fist on her opponent.
Yeah, Devon McDonald looking a bit like visibly deflated going to her corner, which, as we mentioned, just kind of momentum is slipping through her fingers. It feels like, watching this here.
So what adjustments do you make after that?
I think you have to get Tori respecting your hands a little bit. If there could be a particular takedown technique that she could maybe shoot for the legs instead of a body lock. Tori's used to defending the body lock at this point.
Yeah, we have yet to see any sort of change.
Yeah, she hasn't shot for a leg, hadn't tried a foot sweep off of it really. I don't know what she has in her repertoire as far as that goes, but she definitely has not had Tori land respecting her hands at all. And so Tori's just able to come forward with reckless abandon because she doesn't have to respect the grappling anymore either. She's found success there. So Tori's just able to come forward all offense. I think Devon McDonald really needs to get her potentially kicks going, her hands going, and keep some distance between her and her opponent.
And as we move into the belt rounds, we'll begin to see Tori calling for the crowd. We'll begin to see the gas tank of these two individuals. Two great fighters battling it out. Very much so a game of wits between these two.
Good return leg kick from Tori Land.
Tori seeming to find a little bit of distance from her opponent. Seems to have felt her out now and seeing where she's at.
Yeah, Tori getting, nice head kick from Devon McDonald. Tori, I think ate the brunt of that pretty bad. And Tori also overcommitting a bit with her hands here, getting a little too confident. And the same time that her opponent is getting a little more, urgent on the stand-up as well.
Absolutely, and with Tori pressed up against the cage now, as McDonald landed that back leg sweep takedown, old school pancration set out trying to establish the rear naked choke.
Yeah, Tori doing what she should, fighting the hands here, but in a very difficult
spot. And trying to turn, you want to turn in, and then the bad part is that hook that McDonald has, put your hips a little bit out of position.
Right.
So you have to also be careful of the arm triangle coming off of that as well.
Yeah, and Tori also needs to be careful overwrapping the head here. That's typically not where you want to be. You can temporarily hold there to kind of take away punches.
Using the figure 4 lock, McDonald trying to maintain that top position. Land trying to frame in, maybe take the back herself.
Yeah, this is something you see more and more in MMA now is the top fighter in half guard not looking to pass the guard and just choosing to stay in half guard and basically lock your opponent's legs with your legs. And, just kind of, it's hard for them to escape from there.
There's an old adage, half guard is half mount.
Yeah, or half of nothing.
It's half of nothing.
Tori doing a good job, building back up to her feet though, managing out of this.
McDonald trying to wear her back down though, trying to make her defend the punches.
She's got to be careful stepping up with that right leg, the one away from the cage. This is a spot where McDonald could throw the hook in. It's typically better to stand up with the other leg against the cage, but Tori doing a good job fighting the hands here. Turning back into her opponent, doing what she needs to do.
And
gets on top.
Hard to call it a takedown, more of a slip, but Tori is now on top position there against the cage. 50 seconds to work. Try to find a way to solidify the round back into your corner.
Yeah, she really needs to get busy here, get some good work going. She's definitely down in this round so far.
trying to find a way to damage her opponent with hammer fist.
Yeah.
McDonald doing a good job, though, keeping her knees and feet in.
Yeah.
Trying to use hammer fist herself to back her opponent up.
McDonald being the longer fighter, this gets tricky for Tori because she's able to use those long legs, long arms to kind of stay a little bit out of Tori's range as she's in her own range, even though she's on bottom. Yeah, Devon McDonald doing much more job of like really committing to punches here. And
a lot more head movement too.
Yeah, she's being a little more of a stand-up fighter at this point while they're standing up instead of just trying to grapple while
10 seconds into the 4th round. Both opponents showing great heart.
Yeah, another big head kick landing from Devon McDonald towards the end of that one, and a couple good punches after it.
And we will move into the 5th and final round.
And for my money, this 5th round can determine completely who wins this fight. I believe I have it even 2 rounds to 2.
I definitely understand your scorecard there, especially with the takedowns being the way they were and maybe the deciding factors in the exchanges themselves, because as far as damage and things like that, a little hard to assess for both of these fighters.
Yeah, I believe Devon McDonald seemed to have a little more damage done in that round. She landed a good head kick before they went to the ground, landed some decent ground and pound as she was controlling Tori on top. I think she outdamaged Tori a bit in that round. Of course, my scorecard completely unofficial, so it doesn't matter at all.
What do you know?
But I believe this 5th and final round has a good chance of determining who wins this fight.
Absolutely. And for both fighters, minute adjustments, both of them.
Seconds out, Monroe, Louisiana, round number 5 coming at you. Make some noise!
Tori trying to walk her opponent down. McDonald showing a lot more head movement again.
Yeah, Tori taking control of the center of the cage. I'd like to see her feign a little more, bait some reactions, because Devon McDonald seems so ready right now. She's ready to react, so make her react, but don't give her anything good to react to, you know. Get her out of position and then commit.
Both fighters seeming unwilling to go to the clinch this time.
Yeah.
As there's been highly mixed results due to both actually having a relatively high IQ when it comes to grappling.
Yeah.
Land walking her opponent down into the corner. McDonald continues to show head movement, nothing landing big and clean.
The thing about being against the cage, though, is it's hard to move your head very well. You know, you can only go left or right, really.
And if it ever does connect, you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's a very it's a spot in the cage that's prone to knockouts with your back against the cage. I would say.
Tori continue trying to walk her down. Miss McDonald not really showing the leg kicks as she throws a body kick that she usually uses to establish things.
Nice little jump knee. It seems like it may have touched a little bit. Didn't land super clean.
Just trying to find a way to walk her opponent down.
Yeah, again, against the cage. Just anecdotally, I would say James Vick, who was on a beautiful UFC run, I would say had his career changed by getting back into against the cage and essentially knocked out because he had nowhere to go there. This is a very dangerous spot to be in as far as like when you're in that boxing range, you know, with a little bit of separation.
Hard to call from here, but McDonald seeming to be slightly winded. Tori just kind of tossed her to the ground a second ago. McDonald popping right back up, but that's usually an indicator of who's the stronger fighter in that moment.
Nice little scoop for the
and as we say that, Tori able to pick her up and just set her down on just a basic leg scoop.
Yeah, Tori definitely seems to be ahead in this final round. Landed some great strikes, gets the takedown, top position. And as you mentioned, Devon McDonald, you know, showing some signs of fatigue as they should, you know.
Going into the 5th round.
Yeah, 2 minutes into the 5th and final round. Left
Tori now standing up with her opponent grounded, see if she can get some leverage here as she begins to try to rain down punches.
Yeah, definitely looking to put that weight on her opponent, try to stay heavy on her.
One thing about it, though, she let McDonald pivot away from the wall, and now she's back to her more traditional guard sense.
Right. She's definitely trying to keep her there. Doesn't want her to necessarily stand back up. Doesn't want to give her a chance. She knows basically there's a high likelihood if she keeps her on her back here that she wins. I wouldn't be surprised if she does let her up a little bit, but again, this I would say kind of dominant stand-up position for Tori with her opponent against the cage. Not impossible for Devon McDonald to land from here, but much easier for Tori to find her spacing here.
Tori seeming to finding punches straight down the pipe against her opponent. A little bit of blood now from McDonald. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, Tori showing a wonderful performance in this 5th and final round. Great adjustments throughout the fight. Man, what What a women's flyweight amateur title fight that was.
And it goes the distance. Both showing great adjustments throughout this fight. Both showing great abilities. As we move into the judges' scorecards, I am glad once again I just get to sit here and talk about it and not judge it. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in on that one, man. As we mentioned, just the adjustments both these fighters made, just high IQ out of both of them. You know, both of them just highly touted amateur prospects, just leaving it all out there. It's a pleasure to be able to watch this cage side from just a few feet away.
Absolutely, and it went all the way into the championship fight rounds. And really, as you try to judge one like this, you really just have to look at the small intricacies of each round individually. But I will say it seems Tori landed the most overall damage.
Absolutely.
And damage a lot of times is one of the key deciding factors.
Yeah, and for me, going into that fifth one, like I said, I thought that was going to determine the winner, and I think Tori very clearly won that fifth round. So I have her slightly favored into this, but also it's possible that I don't know what I'm talking about either.
Well, this definitely seems to be a matchup of takedowns and damage.
We don't have to guess anymore. I believe Mr. Jamie Grant with 2 Gs has our official decision ready, so let's hear from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monroe, Louisiana, after 5 rounds of action, we got our judges' scorecard for a final decision. All 3 judges score this bout unanimously for our winner, the red corner, Miss Tori.
As we mentioned, unfortunately, because Tori did miss weight by 4 pounds, she will not be eligible for the title, so that will remain vacant. Hey, if we could rematch, that would be fun to see a rematch between these two where Tori does make weight for the title. That would be fun.
We come into our bout tonight, we're 4 pounds overweight. We don't have an opportunity to win the title tonight, but you picked up a victory. Tell me how you feel about your win tonight.
I feel good about the win. I feel like it could have went either way. Like I wasn't sure going into the 5th round who was winning. I knew I was tired as fuck. I was ready for it to be over. Props to Devon for still taking the fight whenever I was overweight. I'm really sorry about that. That was really unprofessional. I tried, but props to her for still taking it. I mean, I really appreciate that.
So Tori, what do we see you do next? When will we see you back in action again?
Hopefully soon. I'm hoping now that I'm back, I'll kind of go on a run with it, but I'll get with the coaches, see what they say. But I'd like to stay as active as possible now.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for your winner, your victor, Miss Tori Land.
And I think you almost have to call for a rematch there because Devon McDonald is one of the top-rated fighters.